Welcome on to a new Steel Division 2 video. Today I have another game for you from the September monthly tournament in the Steel Division Bootcamp Discord. So this was the terrible division rule set where you made a list of divisions for your opponent to choose from after you pick the map. And he does the same for you. So this means you're gonna get divisions that are not well suited for the map or just generally not seen as good divisions, and it makes for some great and interesting matchups to watch, which is why I like to come back to this tournament. And today we have Gustgod playing Task Force Butler on the right in the red, and on the left in the blue we do have Wazneeplus playing 91st Lufthansa. So definitely two divisions that I don't think you would usually see on this map, other than in quick play maybe. So let's quickly hop onto the decks and see how these two players build their divisions for this interesting matchup. All right, starting on with Task Force Butler. So it's nice to see this division. It's one of the, if not the first Western Allied division in the game, and it's not really used all that often. It has its niche where it can perform actually fairly well, but other than that, it kind of falls short in a lot of ways. And what's interesting here is that Gustgod plays it balanced, because this is very much a Maverick or Vanguard division. Now, yes, it has some tools to go along. It has a great artillery tab, and of course, balanced on balance is usually going to be a big artillery grind. That being said, you just don't have the depth in the tank and infantry tab to really go long. But on this map, I guess the infantry tab is not the big issue, but the tank tab I would imagine to be for sure. Now, what it really does well is go with some light armor spam, and then you can kind of back it up with your Shermans, with your great artillery tab and the great air tab. So it has some very, very powerful tools to be used. Infantry tab is kind of a big weakness though, because you have the FFI Maquisard and the FFI Rally that you kind of have to rely on in the later phases, right? You get the rifles late, but you only get the one card, so it's really not great. And the Rally are okay, the Maquisard are really not, and they're also not great at CQC, which is the other thing that they can do. Support tab, as I said, has some good options, but you are lacking in 2K. You only get the one card of Sherman 105, and this is it. And you are going to play on a 2K heavy map against a 2K heavy division, and all of the targets are soft targets, so what you need is the 105, right? The M10 is not going to do much there. So kind of an odd choice there. Not sure how this is going to work out really. And then the last thing that I do think a little bit odd about this is the air tab, right? So it's a very strong air tab, and yet it has good tools, and Gustgod brings the good tools there as well. So there's nothing wrong with that. The issue is that 91st Luftlandde can be really, really bullied by air spam in A phase, and I think this is what Gustgod should do, right? He can really exploit this weakness, but he has no actual like fighter bomber or bomber in A phase, and I think this is a huge mistake. Otherwise, looks okay. Continuing on with 91st Lufthansa. So this is an interesting division, has a fantastic infantry tab with Fallschirmjägers. You also get the CF1, but we only see the FG42 here. What makes it so good is not just the Fallschirmjäger, but the fact that you get a decent but much cheaper infantry unit with the Luftlander Schützen. So this 25 points to MG34s, so definitely one of the better 25-point units, and this is so important because then you don't rely on calling in Fallschirmjäger where something cheaper would do. You can do it with the Luftlander Schützen and save a lot of points there. It's just much more point efficient really, and if you have a good mix, that really helps a lot. Support tab is also fine, and artillery tab is very, very strong with lots of big booms and decent options. You get the 300 millimeter Nebelwerfer, which is also fantastic, and then the air tab is not that big, but what you have is fairly strong, so nothing to complain there. What really makes this weak are the tank tab, the AT tab, and the air tab, AA tab, sorry, because the issue is you don't get medium tanks in A phase. So there is definitely a vacuum there, and the light tanks that you do get are French tanks, so they're painfully slow and not really good at reacting quickly to a quickly changing situation. And this is one way how you can kind of start outplaying this division, right? Because of course you're then going to rely on stationary AT guns, so you can just kind of outmaneuver this division easily when you have spotted a threat, or when you've dealt with one, you can just push through. Because when you rely on a T gun, you can just bomb or shell them with artillery, and then what are you going to do, right? There's not really much you can do, and especially in this case because you are very much relying on these expensive guns, the Pak 43. You have one card of Pak 40s, which I think Wazneeplus should be taking because it's enough against most of what Task Force Butler has to offer, but you only get the one card, so you have to take the Pak 43 so you don't get that. as many as you get pack 40s, it's much more expensive, and it's usually just an overkill for what you need. So you're spending a lot of points because you kind of have to on something that wouldn't really require anything that costs nearly as much. And then you have the Garlic, which helps you for sure, but it's also not the greatest tool. It has its strengths, it has rated rate, it has a good pen, but the problem is it has a very short range as well, and it doesn't even kill light armor in one hit. So it's kind of easy to just overrun this. And then you combine all of that with the fact that there's bad AA in A phase. All you have are 20 mils, and Wazneeplus doesn't even bring them, which I think is a mistake, because if you group them together, you can at least protect one of the AT guns that's holding your front line together. But yeah, that's all you have, so it's kind of easy to just bomb these AT guns. And if you combine that with the fact that, yeah, you don't really have anything in the tank type to react, it can make it very dangerous. It's so easy to just overwhelm this division with bombing one or two essential AT guns and then rushing in with tanks, kind of overwhelming the one or maybe two AT guns that's left with a swarm of tanks, and that's it. So it's very easy to exploit. And we're back. So let's, as always, quickly go through the deployments. I'm trying to keep this a little bit shorter, as well. I also tried to do so when we looked at the decks, although it's not quite there yet, but just do let me know what you prefer, more extensive talking about decks and deployment, or rather straightforward right into the action. So we do see a more aggressive, I mean, kind of mixed, to be honest. Yeah, they're probably, I think this is the flamethrowers that go here, and then the rest looks nothing out of the ordinary. On the other side, from Gustgod, we do see the classical M8 push, really not surprising at all, only one infantry unit. But I mean, the M8s they absolutely can grab grounds because only one is a recon one. We do see a recon plane as well, so that might actually be able to stop these M8s because they stop to shoot at the plane and can delay that rush. We do see an interesting aggressive deployment that you hardly ever see, but it might actually work because there's just a lack of tanks and AT in this area in general, with an engineer here and here. Then yeah, just the 105 and another M8 on top here, which definitely reasonable. Yeah, we do see a massive deployment up north by Wazneeplus, which kind of makes sense. The town is probably his best bet, because yeah, it's an infantry heavy division and he has some good infantry. So this is probably where you want to push. He also tries to go for these two flags. This one is he might very realistically get, and this one probably too, because it's kind of hard to stop this push. Question is really going to be if the M8 can get there and block off this access road in time or not. And then up north, defensive deployment, it doesn't even try to go there. What does Gustgod do? Yeah, Gustgod tries to hold this. I don't know where this one's going. Oh yeah, here. So might actually be able to stop that push. And in town, very defensive as well. M8 Scott, M8 and an engineer. Might actually do the trick. Although I would probably not put the engineer that far forward because it's not in that transport that is as fast. So with that, let's start the game and see where this goes. So this map is definitely going to be an interesting one because it really favors red side heavily. That being said, of course, red side doesn't really have that much 2k assets, so maybe it doesn't work out that well in this case, because how it usually works is red can beat blue to here and can kind of pressure that, or I mean they both arrive around the same time in like key forest positions, but red just has it way easier to pressure the flag from this forest part. Red can also easily just pressure this flag here, and then blue can really only go for that one. Everything is else much further back, and even that one is hard to resupply then, right? So, and this flag, by the way, is also like if you can get a hole in the town on red side, you can actually start pressuring blue out of that. Now in this case, of course, not so easily because the transports from Gustgod are just slower, but usually that would be easy one. Hellfire shoots down the recon, so recon is denied. Garlic did get in. M8s are doing some suppression, but they're not in 50 cal range, so they're not actually doing that much work. They might be out, yeah, they are at range of the Garlic, so this is kind of the issue. However, this did allow the 88 to get in, so it can actually start picking apart these M8s. Hellcat is doing some strafing, which is fine at. B2 is coming in as well, so this is going to be an issue because the B2 will of course be able to clean that off, so he needs a Sherman here. Engineer did get in here. These units were pushed back, especially the Fallschirmjäger. This is expensive one. In a town, Wasn't he got to hold a strong one? These flamethrowers were forced off. These flags still on Gustgod's side. 39H in. Yeah. Oh, now the 88's gonna get suppressed by what? These should be out of range. Holy moly! Look at that. All of them suppressed by by one miss of the of the pack 43. And it's gonna get strafed now, and that's gonna be the end of that. There we go. This is not a good head-on unless what's the no? It has bad resilience, so and only 220 mil, so you don't want to head on this. Yeah, definitely not. Oh, Hellcat gets on the back of it. Gets the kill. Focke-Wulf did not even get the bombs on. This is a good one. Like, he has a good loadown. Look at if you have noticed the bomb, right? It has I don't remember how many kilogram, but it does 9 damage. That's the point. And you have 2 different sets, so 2 on the wings and 1 in center, so you can turn one of them off and then get 2 strikes in like that. Hellcat is called back. Major mistake. I think he should have let it stick around to go for that pack 43 once it shows again. Garlic is now in range for this one Reconimate. Reconimate looks like it has spotted it, but there's no other M8s here to help it, and down it goes. Yeah, if the others were here, that they would have absolutely killed that. This is one of the issues with Garlics, right? Once they get spotted, they can easily be outranged. Like, even these things will be able to kill it. It's going to take a while because, you know, their gun is not that great, but it's still possible. 59 currently in the town. The M8's going to do some work to get away with the 50 cal. This rifle here is fighting against Luftlandeschützen and the H-18. Should lose that fight. 2 on 1, not a good fight. Oh no, the H-18 is firing at the 50 cal, but should still lose against the Luftlandeschützen. This M8 could swing back here and then help with that. The M8 is suppressed, so that would do. Yeah, he could surrender just both of them and cheeky grab this with his M8. And he can then kind of, you know, keep roaming around here and be really, really annoying. 39H now in. Yeah, Gustgod needs some tank to deal with that. The M8 will, the M4 105 will eventually kill that. The M8 is, the M8 will actually struggle. It's not going to be easy. And okay, but he can outrange it, so it just needs to stay out of line of sight. Oh, but the pack 43 gets the kill. 105 spots it and should be opening up. Oh no, it spots the 39H. It has to be careful because the pack 43 cannot kill it. He needs some recon here, which he doesn't have. Move it back. It's one of your only 2. And he does. Misses as well. So yeah, looks like Gustgod's likely it's going to go away very, very soon. Flanges is now pinned. Don't know by what. H-18 is repositioned, so that M8 cannot swing over now. Yeah, I think there are many missed opportunities here by Gustgod. Like he could, instead of 2 M7s, which is really an overkill in my opinion. Oh, is he trying to use them as well for 2K direct fire? It might be possible. Don't know. But maybe that's his plan. But who knows? So yeah, he could have just called in a Sherman here. He has to be like he has to clean this out. So one of these is actually quite useful as well with the 105, and then you can start cleaning this out here, the H-18, the 39H, and then you can easily pressure this flag. You can even go for that one as well. Down here, he also needs a Sherman because yeah, the guns are still here, and this one, yeah, look at that. This one's not gonna get killed by the M8 as well. Like, the M8s are really, really useful, but he should have saved them and waited for a Sherman to arrive and kill the tanks, and then he can go back in, because then they can absolutely shred. Look at that, that's the issue. Garlic fails to kill it with one shot, now it gets suppressed, and now it's gonna get killed. Panzerabwehr is coming in. He has to be careful, he doesn't have that many of them, so... And I think it's really not necessary, because the B2 can deal with it, and it's not gonna save the Garlic anyway. So I think it's kind of a waste. Yeah, this thing, I mean, has some HE shells as well, so it can also do some damage, as we've just seen. 12-12 currently. So Wazneeplus has been doing a very good job at stabilizing. And yeah, Gustgod, he had such a good start. He was in a really good position. He just didn't call in the tools that he actually needed to kind of deal with, and now the Hellcats are back. If the other one was still here, that could have been dealing with that much earlier. And now the 88 is even dead, so they're not actually going to do anything, which is terrible. Like it's now used. It can go after the H18, I guess. Is he doing the ground attack? No, he's not. So the engineer will go down unless Gustgod notice. Yeah, there's some cheeky things that you can do here, and one of them is definitely going to be needed by Gustgod. So one of the things, of course, you can't use the Pioneer and tell it to ground attack a target, and that way it will not move when it gets hit by the flames. The other thing that you can do, if you have your Pack 43 here, that can technically kill the M4 at 2k range. It shouldn't struggle really. What you can do, like yeah, if you were to move a little bit forward, like here, he can then target like at the right max range, but in front of the Pack 43. So the Pack 43 cannot actually shoot at the M4, but the M4 can, in the meantime, target or like with the splash and everything can damage the Pack 43. Now it's not the fastest and most efficient way, but it definitely works. Yeah, look at that. Now the 39H can actually push forward and pressure the Sherman and the M8. And this is terrible. You need some AT here, man. You need some AT. And it's not that hard. And you have to, you would have the point. Now you have two Hellcats that are really not great. Like, I don't know. I would have taken a P38 to start with. Maybe one Hellcat because it don't have AA. And I don't know, take something else out. I know it doesn't sound great, but something like that. And yeah, call in a Sherman here. Another 105 in. It's going. Yeah, this is not really necessary. There's nothing here that demands a 105 now, and you can just block that off with your M8 like easily. FG42 is going to be an issue. Rifles late will not be able to win against that. He needs the M8 to move in, but the M8's still sitting there, and there's obviously, or like, not obviously, there could be AT, but it hasn't been spotted yet. The Rifles late will confirm that in a bit. Hellcats, I mean, they're still wreaking havoc. They are pinning this Pack 43, the M7s are helping. But yeah, unfortunately, like 20 mils are great for strafing, 50 cals not so much. They can do it, they can still do some damage and suppression. 39H goes down, but look at how close it got. Like, wow. So close to the mate and the 105. That should really not have been possible. Like, really not. You need AT here, man. You really do need it. Yeah, FG42 still wins. Cavalry, M8 is just sitting there, not doing anything, and the 105 is not really in a position to help either. Now Sherman comes in as well. I don't know what for. Like, unless you plan to really push this heavily, I don't. And the thing is, this is hard for Red to resupply, but easy for Blue side to reinforce. So it's not the way the place you really want to push. Like, you can make a small push if nothing's there, which was absolutely the case before that. Like, you could just move the cavalry and the one infantry unit there, and that would have been it. But need more than that. But here you see the power of red side. Like, Gustgod has regrabbed this side. Wazneeplus is pressuring him hard here, but I mean, the flag is so much further into red territory that Gustgod's still holding it, despite this massive force here. More 39Hs in. Is there okay, there is a Sherman, two Shermans, so now he's done what he needs. We have reached B phase though. You now see some FFI Saboteur and some Commando d'Afrique. These are basically bazooka units with more people. They do have an automatic rifle, but it's not a good one. And they do have radio, which is really nice. So definitely strong from that perspective. Saboteur, of course, are basically just cheap TNT and TNT unit, but you can also use it for his recon, I guess, if that's what you want. In the town, we do see Wazneeplus pushing now. The artillery is still going after the Pack 43, but it is on the move. So you might be able to evade that. We now see the AA in, and yeah, Gustgod's air superiority in A hasn't really done all that much, right? So yeah, he has pressured Wazneeplus a little bit, but not too heavily. And now we see the P47, but now the AA is coming in, and two of the Flak 46s, if they get unloaded in time, which doesn't look like it. No, now they are. They will absolutely be able to stop this. Yeah, look at that. There's another one there, so it's going to be forced off and not going to be very effective. The time window to really, really heavily lean into these is already expired. think I don't know who picked first. I think Gustgod. Like if Wozni was the one to was player 2, then I think Gustgod should have, because he can pick his income the last, he should have responded with V for victory. Yes, B-Face is a little rough, but against balance, you can really afford that, because like if you still like, that's at least considering that you still want to go long, because you do need the extra punch in A phase, or I mean you don't need it, but it would be good because you can easily exploit the weaknesses of 91st Luftland that way. We also see an 88 here. That's a little bit of an overkill. Might be able to stop the Marauder though. I don't know where it was going. It's a very odd call because Guscott knew that there was a here. He knew. Now he's targeting one of them, but he knew that there was more. He probably hasn't known about this, so that's fair. But yeah, and you have to, like, it's a good call. You know, target the A if you're artillery and then go in for with the plane afterwards. But you have to give it some time. Oh, oh no, it's shooting at the... Is he doing... No, he's not doing the ground attack. He just Q move forward. And unfortunately for Wozni, the 88 has targeted the wrong target. Oh, it takes a massive hit. 39 H's are here. One of the Shermans did go down. Don't know to what. Is that one of the Shermans? No, that's just an M8 Scott. But yeah, 39 H's are here. What's the pen? Yeah, they're not going to pen the Sherman, unless they get a side shot, but still. Saboteur is not the right tool here. Commander d'Afrique would be the right tool to deal with these, but unfortunately it's focusing on the Luftlander shoots, and it's not going to win that fight. So that's going to go down. Gerlich should lose this fight. And now we have the Nebelwerfer going after the M7. That's going to be... Yeah, they're both really close to each other, so you can easily hit both with one burst if he gets lucky, which doesn't look like he is. And Gustgod has not moved these, so this is a massive micro mistake. If you have mobile artillery, guys, always move it. It's the one thing that they're really good at, or that makes them really great, other than... I mean, there can be, you know, good RT pieces otherwise as well, but this is one of the key things about this, so you have to keep them constantly moving. Wazneeplus, on the other hand, is moving his Nebelwerfer immediately. I think he could move a little bit further, because the issue is, so first of all, it's not like he hasn't made any mistakes here. He has fired close to reinforcement road. Always a bad idea, because if you get counter battered, it's gonna unload, or it might unload some units that are coming in. And I think he has to move a little bit further because the spread can actually be quite large. But he is moving, so this is the important thing. Now we see some Hellcats coming in. There should be the ones that actually draw the fire of the Flag 36 to them, and then the Marauder will be able to get in. It's going for the 88. I think he might actually be able to go for the AA. Actually, I think he could just send everything after the A, and it probably would have been dead. Because the issue is, like, Flag 36s are not great, and it's unvetted, so it doesn't perform all that well. Commander d'Afrique seemed to have killed off one of the Panzer 39H, or maybe the Sherman did it. It's, yeah, probably was the Sherman. So good work there. This one will force off the rifles late. Commander d'Afrique need to move forward, but they are currently falling back. Yeah, Hellcats are gonna be suppressed. These ones are moving, still the same position. I know why it's easier to micro, but I think if you have a Nebelwerfer, you might want to spread them out a little bit. I know it's annoying, but I think it's the right choice. 14-10 currently for Gustgod. Once again, it's just so easy for him to grab these two flag, and so hard for Wazneeplus to actually do anything about it. Fighting in town has not been going so well for actually either of these players. Wazneeplus definitely has lost some units here. There was more, but Gustgod has not really made any progress here. Now the M8 Scott is actually here to bully quite a bit of this infantry. An 88 is coming in response though. But yeah, this is the issue that we've talked about. We don't have any cost-effective tools to deal with tanks. This one has heat shells though, I think. Yeah, it has 1500 meter range though. Is it in... Yeah, it barely is. So the M8 Scott might go down here. Well, now if the IG misses, I think it's still going to be able to kill it. No. Wazneeplus decides to fall back. I think he should have waited. I think it might have been possible. There is Stück Freeze coming in to save the day. There's nothing here that can actually deal with that effectively, so he might be safe. 88 gets a pen on the 105. 105 hasn't noticed, is still shooting the Sturmpanier and goes down. So that's very, very that's a really, really bad loss for Gustgod. He only has 2 of those, and they will be really, really important because we have already seen, right? It's all pack 43s and flag 88. So this is a very key tool for him to actually contest his open ground, and it has just died. Now the 88 is going after, I don't know what it's shooting at. Nebelwerfer going after the infantry doesn't do that much damage, but oh, actually it does a lot of damage. Pins everything, so Gustgod falling back, and Wazneeplus can move in. And he has kept a Sherman Pioneer ready to go there, just waiting for the suppression to happen and the fallback. So now that he can move in and probably going to be able to grab that flag. This flag's going to be pressured as well, so he might be able to recap that. Really, really nice play. He's fighting his way up north here into these woods as well with some infantry and a Stück. The Sherman should go back into the forest. He don't want to stand out here in the open. He has lost some tanks unnecessarily already, like the 105 here. So I think it's now time to forget. 76 is a good choice for this open ground, but it's not the unit that you want to have standing here right now. P47 will probably get forced off. No, it doesn't go deep, it just goes for the Sturm Pioneer. Managed to kill that. I think he wouldn't have been able to get into there though. I might be wrong. The flag 36 is kind of out of position. We see reinforcements coming in the form of FFI Maquisard and FFI Rally. Not the greatest units. They will absolutely need vehicle support. But Wazneeplus bring it to a 14-10 by grabbing these 2 flags here. Now, as I was gonna say, these are not very firmly secured flags, but they are his flags now. So for the first time, Gustgod is actually bleeding. Gustgod could just move forward here, but he doesn't know. I mean, he has to be afraid that it's a Garlic. Although I think at this range, he would have spotted it probably with his infantry. I think he could just, yeah, look at that. Now Gustgod, Wazneeplus is allowed to call in reinforcements. So he should use the time that he has now where he can actually control this to push forward. He has to be careful because of the 88, but if he moves on the backside, should be fine. 88 has moved forward, is now probably seeing the Sherman? No, the M8. That's just in range. Gustgod hasn't reacted yet. Now he has. 76 is moving back as well as the M8. More artillery coming in. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of his only option here. And he really should redirect that at 105. It wasn't needed here at any point in the game so far, and he should just redirect here because it's desperately needed out in the open here. But even then, I think the 105 might not be enough. What he can do, of course, is try to kill off that IG-18 and then just use some, cheap expendable infantry like the Maquisard to move forward, then draw fire by the 88, and while it's focused, just kill it off with the 105s. That might be a thing that he could do, but currently Gustgod is deciding to just sit there. No, now we go. He goes for the town. 88's at the border of the spread, but still there. We do have radio by the leader, so that's going to be a massive game changer there. Yeah, I'm not so sure how Gustgod is supposed to play this really, because he is at a massive disadvantage in the open. So it's questionable if he even should try to go there, because he is tank heavy and his infantry is really not going to do well. And the support tab is not really that great for this range either. At the same time, he kind of wants to pressure these 2 easy to grab flags, and in the town is not really good either. And if you try to support the town with tanks like here and here, you're still fighting out in the open technically, because you can get pressured by AT guns here. So it's, yeah, he has to decide how he wants to go about this, but I'm not sure that you really want to focus down here, because that flag is will probably not be used. M7s have not been moved after firing for quite a while now, so the Nebelwerfer is going after them, and this can hurt, yeah, because the ammo goes down, and this is going to be the bigger issue. Nothing in Gustgod's deck comes with ammo, so once he's out for good. Like, his recon tab is not gonna happen. Oh no, Panzerwehr is not spotted. I don't think so. No, it is. It has revealed itself. So it's pushing forward. Not in range to kill the Sherman, but very much in 50 cal range. Goes down to the Marauder. Big bomb is right there. Brings Gustgod his flag back. He has resecured his 2 flags in the towns, so that's definitely good for him. Yeah, these units have just been sitting here not doing much. So M8 pushing forward. Sherman pushing forward really aggressively. Might be able to kill off that AA, and that of course enables Gustgod to just bomb all of this. And he can also... the IG, I think the LG can kill it. Yeah, the LG can very much kill it. He can actually one-shot it if it hits, so he has to be a little bit more careful here. Is it going to land? No. And I think at this point it's going to die to the M8 and the M4 combined. Don't think it's going to... With the suppression, it's probably going to miss. Wazneeplus decides to fall back. I know, he might have been able to get one last shot off, and it was going to die anyway. Like, it wasn't going to win, so why even call it back? Another pack 43 in. That's the issue with those, though. They are expensive. And that's what we talked about, right? It's a very expensive thing that you... And it's really punishing if this is the thing that you have to call in. P-47 coming in for a bombing run, gets the bombs off, but gets forced off. Should survive it easily, though. The Flak 46 is not great, especially on weather. It's not going to do all that much damage. Currently, things are a little bit have quieted down in the town. Yes, some pioneers are moving forward, but no massive movements there. Then, of course, you have a little tank fight here. Stuck got penned once. Has so far failed to pen the Sherman. At this range, Stuck should technically still be an advantage, I would think, but okay, it lost. Interesting. And the M8 finishes off the Flak 36 in the meantime. We have another LG in. Yeah, still, this can one-shot the Sherman, but it has to be careful. Now we see the 50 cal half-track moving in. And this is going to be really annoying. And now he really should try to just... Dude, move your M8. Cheeky grab this flag. Hold it for a while. It's not going to be any use there anyway. So Sherman here did go down, probably to the 88, so this flag back to Wazneeplus. He's doing a good job of keeping this flag. Problem is he needs to find some flags to grab. And yeah, very good decision. He tries to go for this flag because currently he controls the open ground. So there's not much right now that Gustgod can do to actually pressure him here. He can sneak units in here, but it's going to take a while. So now actually, okay. Having talked about it, thought about it, I don't think it's the greatest play because yeah, he doesn't have control of this. Like if he has this forest, he can absolutely go for it. Right now, it's a little bit dangerous. It's definitely going to bring in a flag for a while, which is what he needs. But this is a little bit expensive. So, although this depends on one is the we can't see there. I think it's 20.1. If you take like 1 or 2 of those, that's actually fine. I would not bring the other ones. I think there's a little bit of a waste. Gustgod still on a 13-11 by regrabbing this flag. 50 cal is pressuring some infantry and a massive infantry blob from Gustgod pushing. He has to be careful though, because he has not actually brought out any AA, and Wazneeplus very much has a terrifying air force still. It's not big, but it is very decent. Another Nebelwerfer coming in, so we see massive RT game by Gustgod, and it looks like Wazneeplus is finally about to return the favor. Because so far the Nebelwerfer has done some work, but it has not been too effective yet. M7s are going after the 88. I really do hope that Gustgod is intending to move it. 88 has to go stationary now because there is a lot of Hellcats. They are going after transports though. Might be able to... Yeah, look at them, they're so bad. I mean, they managed to, you know, suppress the... unload some of the infantry, but it's not going to be enough. And the Marauder that was probably going for the 8 didn't get through. So, yeah, like, look, you have to prioritize things here. You can kill off, you know, take the Hellcats, target the 88 as well, because they would have actually been able to suppress it, and then the Marauder would have been able to get in. And now, yeah, it's not yet suppressed. It still has time to... no. Okay, never mind. He gets the bombs off, because he was still busy enough with other things. Yeah, because if you kill this, right, all of this is open, and then you can move in with your tanks and kind of clean up the infantry. This is how, in my opinion, you should have like done it. But I guess with the P-47 it works as well. And there it is, JU8's going after this whole blob, and there's just one Sherman here that was defending against the Stück. This was kind of a mistake. You could have set up some AT guns here to help with that, really. Like, you have the tools, or call in another Sherman 76. I know resources are kind of strained at the moment, but I think this would have been worth it more than just having all these Maquisards pushing forward, because yeah, now they're all suppressed and now they're going to get forced back. These guys are going to reinforce that. So, I mean, he still holds the flag, so it hasn't been useless. And the Commando d'Afrique can very well kill that Stück if it ever gets close enough. Problem is, it can get killed by the infantry there first. 88 finally did go down to, I don't know if one of the 105s hit it or if these units finished it off, but it did go down. 105, ooh, is very, very dangerous. I mean, Gustgod did make the right play. He moved it away so that it can actually be fighting in the open here, but like, man, you've seen the infantry. You know that it can be dangerous. Why would you move that forward? Like, just leave it down here. Let all of this take care of it. Now he's lost both 105s, and it's going to be absolutely devastating. We do see 122s in now by Wazneeplus, so RTO has officially really started. I would really not target the M7s though. I get why Gustgod hasn't been moving them previously, but now he started, and once your opponent starts moving these, you're never really gonna kill them. The 122s, I think these are the captured Russian ones. Yeah, they're actually fairly decent. They're decent gun for counter battery. And the cool thing about these is you can actually use it to get even more 2k and kind of really deny all of this to Wazneeplus. So there's so many. There would be, especially if another pack 43, and there would be so many 2k assets here now that it's going to be difficult for Gustgod to really focus them effectively. We do see two long toms in though. They are currently not going for counter battery for the pack 43. Yeah, that's decent choice. Both. Yeah, I guess he hasn't noticed these two yet, but he will very soon. Stück. Yeah, Commander d'Afrique is getting killed off. Maquisard will not survive for long either. Fauci Mega Pioneer will take care of that. Yeah, I mean, look at this unit. 3 stands, terrible. Rest of the loadout, not much. Not a lot of damage on CQC. You have the Molotov, but it's not going to do all that much. Still 13 level for Gustgod though. Wazneeplus is holding on, and I do have to give him like respect for that, because if I were in his position on this map and on this side, I would probably be calling it a day by now. But yeah, I think the major mistake on his side was that he was like too much diverting into multiple spots, like either push hard for the town or really try to push this open. But if you only have like one key asset here, like the 188, once that goes down, it opens up the, possibilities for your opponent again. This is kind of the issue here. Marauders coming in now. Flag 40, 36s are still here. Don't think they get through. Maybe the one down south. Oh yeah, if it goes for this blob, certainly. But yeah, I mean, this is just a rough game for Wazneeplus, because if you end up on this side, it's just so difficult, and you can see why. And Gustgod has, I have to give him that, he has focused the 2k assets really well that showed up here. It's taken him a while for the 88, but he has reacted accordingly, pulled back, and is now moving back in. 122s are going now after the M7s. I think they've been moved. Oh no, it's going after Long Tom. Yeah, that's the right target, because this one's stationary, of course. Second Long Tom is moving, so Gustgod on top of his micro has realized that there is now tube artillery that is focusing his artillery, and he has decided to move away. Nebelwerfer is going after. It's doing a preemptive strike on this. So he has guessed that Gustgod is now going to follow up here with infantry and is already targeted. Very heads up play there. M7s go after the 43. Can they get a kill? Because if they can, all of this is open again. I think the 76 died here, and this is the key tool now, because he needs this to actually fight the Stücks very effectively, really. The M4 can do that, as we've seen, but it's not the best tool for it. Champagner actually kill off the Maquisard. The rest of them get hit by the Nebelwerfer, so really good strike. Brings him his flag back. But this one is lost as the... No! 43 still alive. Not for long though. Yeah, now he falls back. How much damage? 4 people left. Yeah, so still alive. 36 opens up on the infantry. I mean, it will stop it. It probably will get focused by the M7 next, though. But Gustgod needs to move him. He has moved the long tom. He is about to move this one, so why not just move the M7s as well? Cavalry, M8 and M4 pushing out here, but stopped. I know you don't have infantry protection and you don't want to risk it, but you know, you can just move that one forward, and if it goes well, follow up with the Sherman. This thing with the 50 cal alone can do a lot of damage. You don't necessarily need the Sherman. They can easily kill this Flag 36 though. Stück 3, not so much. And there's nothing, there's no AT guns. I I do know that, you know, the AT guns are not 2k, but really I think Gustgod should invest into some of these just to, you know, block it off a little bit at least. Like, these Schützen should not be able to get in if there's like a pack sitting right here. Really not. And it can even fight this pack 43 with its HE. Now, it's not an HE weapon, but, you know, it has HE, it can use it. M7s are now on the move as they get shot at. And it's now just a bigger block. If there's 4 of them in one place, like, seriously, I would just focus both Nebelwerfers there, and there's a fairly good chance that you probably just kill half of them. There's nothing on the hill now on Gustgod's side, which allowed Wazneeplus to get the flag. Is anything moving up there? No. So he's gained it back because of the reinforcements, and he will be about to lose it again. Still no AA by Gustgod, so JU-88 is going to get in. The Hellcats are chasing, but I don't think they're going to catch it. I think they're going to get stopped by the Flag 36, because they have to go really, really deep. I do understand it, though, because so far, you know, the Air Force of Wazneeplus hasn't been a massive issue, so I do get it. And we see another push in the town. Sherman's here, that's not going to go far. Makazar's here, still alive. Will kill off the Luftlandschützen. Managed to kill off the pioneers that were here. I mean, yeah, if you get the Molotovs out and then they have to move, and especially if they're out in the open, they might actually take a decent amount of damage. 2 more pioneers in. Stück 3 just kind of sitting here. Luftlandschützen got in here. I don't know when that happened, but this is a really, really nice use of them. Because now he actually gets a flag. It's just not going to be enough. 13-11 still for Gustgod. Slowly taking Wazneeplus down. And I mean, this is a, you know, this is a income mirror matchup, and especially for, in this case, where Wazneeplus is on the bad side, where it's harder for him to actually grab flags, these things really matter. Like, a single tick is all you need, right? Because unless there's a massive skill difference, or you kind of just manage to counter your opponent's opener really, really well while your opener went really, really good, it's kind of hard to grab a 59 with mirror incomes. So if that's the case, you also, like, the longer it goes, the harder it gets for you to kind of turn things around. Because, like, yeah, now Wazneeplus is on a 13-11, but Gustgod has been on a 13-11 for the entire time. So with 15 minutes left, it's just not going to be enough time for Wazneeplus to actually get the ticket lead there. Air Force back in. No A down south anymore, so now Gustgod can just kill the pack 43, he can kill that one, and if he has the Shermans to actually help kill off the Stücks, all of this is now open again for some tank bullies once again. Ooh, Stück 3 here kills the M8, Sherman here gets shot up by the 36, massive issue. Wazneeplus hasn't noticed, it looks like, and by the way, things have already flipped back because, yeah, Gustgod has been able to re-grab this flag. This one is now his again. He has grabbed this. Now we see the first pack 40. Yeah, this was overdue. Well overdue. Oh, flag 36 still alive. Cavalry scouts, they do have a bazooka. So they can absolutely, yeah, now we see, oh no, it was the M10 that killed it. With the APCR as well, I think. Yeah, use the APCR. Cavalry scouts can very easily kill that with its bazooka. That's a massive loss because there's not that many Stücks. I think it's 10 in total, something like that. Bowfighter was coming in for that, not needed. Yeah, this thing has not really been that important so far. It's going for the next Stück, which is fine, but there's another flag 36 here to stop that. I mean, yeah, Gustgod has done a good job at targeting Wazneeplus's AA, so he can still use his good Air Force, but I think he could have still have done more. By the way, I've kind of missed that. Off-map did go down, pinned, and probably killed some units here, and allowed Gustgod to push forward. Now he holds his flag as well. MG42 pushing in. Yeah, this is not the unit that you want to put here, because there's plenty of infantry here. The Sherman can also swing back and kind of fight that very easily. 122s going after the M7s again, but the M7s are moving, and I think they've just started targeting. Yeah, they're aiming. So Gustgod is now on top of his M7 and keeps them moving, which is what he has to do. Massive. Wow. Okay, so Wazneeplus was floating some points. I mean, that's a lot. That's okay. Then, oh, these are cheap ones. 60 points. That's 70. So with 130, and then it's another 75 plus the FG42. So we're 110. Counting is counting is hard. I don't know. It's like 250 to 300 points ish, I think, in infantry, right? So 60. Sorry. Then you have to set 130, and then these are so around 200 actually. My bad. Really, really bad at counting. But yeah, like 200 points. It's not a small amount. P47 is back in again, gets forced off. Didn't really target anything. I think it probably targeted transport and then lost line of sight. Marauder coming in, oh, that's going to hurt massively. He's just driving through. I mean, they might absolutely kill the Sherman. If he unloads the shoots in Panzerfaust now, Sherman's going to die. He needs to move that. Oh. Lot of damage. Lots of units unloaded. Ouch. Off-map has been coming down south, so probably ready to strike here. Although I don't think it's needed. This flag is kind of hard to grab. It's not the way to go. Long Tom is about to get moved, but it's just sitting there. Gustgod has kind of forgot about it. Appleworth did go after Pack 40, which is definitely a good target. We also see a 25 mil in up here, but I think it's probably not going to stop the Ju-88, so probably should be the what's it called? The 37 vehicle that the Americans got, that one. Hellcat is on the back of the Ju-88. It's probably going to get. I don't think the Flag 36 can stop it in time because the Hellcat is at the end of its range. Although, yeah, if it's going to take that long to catch up, then yeah, it will get forced off. I thought it was, it will be catching up sooner, but I guess it's not. 2 more Ju-88s in here. Now you need to start getting some relay. And there we go. M15 is in finally. You need another Hellcat, but now it's too late anyway. Now they can go really, really deep. They can do big bombing strikes, pin all of this. Pioneer can't really move forward though because of the M4. And then here, don't know what it hit. This block, yeah, it hits all of this. P47 in back again, gets the bombs off this time. Pins all of this, not a P47 in there. It's going to pin it once again. Oh no, it's pinning this. And Maquisards are just driving through. They can actually surrender. No, why did he unload? He could just, he could literally just drive through and surrender all of it. But he did not. Turns out things are getting a bit more quiet, although the 122s are now going after Pack 40, which is definitely a good choice in general, but I think at this point you're probably not going to do any more plays here, the way it looks. And yeah, look, as Stuks are being called in here, I think you should focus on something else, really. 68 now for 59 for Gustgod as he captures these 2 flags. It's not going to last for long, though. Just needs some units to actually hold this. Yeah, it looks like Wazneeplus panicked and felt like Gustgod was doing a massive push here, so he called in lots and lots of infantry. But there's not much here actually, so you don't. This is an over-investment. You need like 1 or 2 units just to hold this, and then if you see that the front line moves up again and the pressure is built up, then you can call in more. I think he just saw these 2 flags flip and panicked and thought that he needed to react with a massive counter push on his side, but it's not going to do much, right? Like the Sherman here is still holding that off, so he's not going to get any further into here. So he really just needs something to hold, and probably some AT guns. But it's possible that he's running out of them. There's another one here, and we saw multiple of them die. M7s have been marked, so I guess the Nebelwerfer is going to be going after them. It's moving forward, probably. I think they're probably out of range for the Nebelwerfer. It doesn't have an infantry range. M7s are now going after this Flag 36, but yeah, it is completely out of ammo, so it's not actually going to do all that much. Supplies being called in 4122s. Yeah, they're already empty. Don't know if they've achieved much. The long toms are still standing. The Pack 40 is still alive. It's close to death though. He's marking it again. Gustgod has, after having moved them for a while, looks like he's stopped now again, which is a massive mistake that he might be paying for. I mean, if they're this close, you know, it's bound to happen that one of these rockets hits, probably even two. Like, in the worst case scenario, Gustgod could lose all four of those, and that would be absolutely terrible. Bowfighter gets it. Oh, gets the rockets off. Wow, I think kills one Stück. Don't know if the other one's hit as well. Yeah, the Flak 36 is in a bad spot, and Gustgod takes advantage of it. Bombs go off. These units got pinned by the 88 and damaged, but all of this is now destroyed by the Marauders. So Flak's going to go back to Gustgod. He doesn't really need it. He has the 1311. He can still sit on that. He can actually move forward here now, but he hasn't realized yet. Just send an infantry like a Maquisard. Even if it gets killed by the LG-14, who cares? Oh, Nebelwerfer strike. Kills two with one rocket. Ouch. Misses. Second to last pins, goes close but doesn't kill. It's damaged. Yeah, look at this. This is barely alive. Like, you can touch it and it will break apart. Off-map going down here. Yeah, this is not really needed. Especially since it doesn't look like he has anything to follow up on it. So, oh, but that was that was so huge there. Massive mistake by Gustgod, and Wazneeplus took advantage of it, and he got rewarded for that play for sure. More rows of infantry coming in now for the town. And yeah, there's not much here that Gustgod has to counter that. We see rows of infantry now down here, but it's kind of misaligned with the off map. Although since there's not much, you know, this is gonna do to capture this flag probably. Sharpshooter now coming in, so either he is desperate for recon or he's kind of running low on infantry with this blob that he's just called in here. Bowfighter goes for the other Stück. If that goes down, which it does, that means there's not much here. Oh, that's the Pack 43. So still something that can actually stop Gustgod from just moving in with his tanks. But it's going to be a rough one. Sherman got hit by the Stück 3, is now panicking and moving back. Yeah, this is not the place where you want your Sherman to sit, because Stück 3 can of course outrange it. We see another push here by Wazneeplus with his infantry, but this is what I say. I don't think this is the way to go, because the Shermans here, they can easily counter that. Ooh, 76 needs to be careful. The 88 is here. He has spotted it. The question is, has Gustgod noticed? He has, but only after taking a pen, so a little bit too late. P43 shouldn't be going after this. You don't need to have this forest here. You really don't. The Sherman can stop all of this. What you need is this thing to go, because then you can actually dominate this open with your tanks. Swarms of Ju-88s in. And this is the other issue. These still exist, so this whole blob here of infantry can just be stopped once again by the Ju-88s. Oh, P47 gets on the back of one. Gets the kill. Hellcat gets another kill. P47 now swinging back to kill the last remaining Ju-88 in the skies there. I think there's one more in the deck. I don't know if Wazneeplus bought it, but P47, yeah, gets the kill. That's massive. Like, that's goodbye to Wazneeplus's Air Force, and he's looking really thin already. Gustgod has been out trading him really heavily, because he has. I mean, he's noticed that, you know, there's lots of blobs of infantry, and you can just bomb that or just shell it with artillery. He has done a good job at picking apart key units with his artillery. He has invested massive into artillery, and Wazneeplus hasn't really reacted accordingly. Like, he hasn't really punished it, because usually what happens if you invest into artillery, you are weakening your front line, right? Because you just don't call that much in there. And especially earlier on, Wazneeplus was picking apart Gustgod's front line, and he just failed to push. But that's of course one of the issues with this division. 91st Luftland just doesn't really have that many good tools to actually push hard. So it makes it a little bit more, and he's on the bad side still. So it makes it a little bit harder for him to actually do these kind of pushes, and he hasn't, yeah, just hasn't been able to punish Gustgod enough for his heavy artillery buy-in. Gustgod, in the meantime, has, despite some mistakes, especially this one here, done a great job at keeping the lead. So, but yeah, just to go back on the Air Force bit here. So the thing that you need to keep in mind about those planes is, of course, if you can like hit a massive blob of infantry here that you cannot otherwise stop, this is a good use. But other than that, ooh, 7s have once again not been moved, or just not fast enough. Gonna get hit once again with an Nebelwerfer strike. Both of them go down, and the ammo, wow. This thing is the MVP of this game. Seriously. And Gustgod, please, for heaven's sake, move your artillery more. Like, it's painful to watch. Like, all of it's mobile artillery. Like, that shouldn't die to an Nebelwerfer. It should, really, really, really shouldn't. And if you need to resupply, move it first after shooting and then resupply, because if you stick around, that's gonna happen. You've already lost two, like, it's not like he hasn't known. But there we go. He picks up a quick 59 and finishes up the game. Great game to both players. Yeah, look at that. Gustgod out-traded Wazneeplus heavily. It's like 2,300 point difference. Like, that's massive. We could see that. Like, Wazneeplus's line was crumbling, but he just kept spamming infantry at the problem, and that is not really the solution, especially not on this map, and especially not since the meta changed, unfortunately. Um, so so yeah, but as I said, I think Gustgod just made a much better use of his artillery and planes to pick apart key units of Wazneeplus, and also taking advantage of him just spamming infantry blobs everywhere to push with those, because yeah, one bombing strike and they are either dead or suppressed. So great work there. So yeah, looking at the kills, the mates did some damage, and of course the Hellcat shot a lot of planes down, more mates. The 105 actually did a lot of work in the center. I kind of missed some of it. Like, the 88, yeah, I didn't realize it killed all the Gallics there as well. I didn't know when this was happening, really. 105 did a lot of work until it eventually died. Sherman's, I mean, yeah, the light armor is just not good from 91st Luftlandde. Then the infantry did okay. I guess it was supported by the tanks and artillery and whatnot. Bombers, yeah, look at that. It's really just like, you can really just pin it down to the two things that 91st Luftlandde has some issues dealing with, like tanks and planes. Like, look at that. And artillery, of course, was kind of hard to prevent artillery shells from coming in, other than counter battery. But if your opponent has mobile artillery, which should have been moved, that's kind of hard to counter as well. But yeah, armor, planes, artillery, plane. Yeah, and look at, there's so many units here that traded decently well. Like, even all these infantry units, I have to assume that they were supported by tanks when doing so, because on their own they're not that good, but they got so much value. And then if you look over um, for Wazneeplus, yeah, I mean, this one actually cleaned all the light armor. But otherwise, like, yeah, the 88 did some work. His 2K assets actually worked. The Nebelwerfer, of course. But wait, that's a different one. That's not even the one that killed all the M7s. It killed one initially and then kind of a lot of infantry. But the real MVP is still coming. But yeah, like, yeah, his 2K assets did a bit of work. His planes did a bit of work. Some of the infantry did okay as well. Then yeah, this Nebelwerfer just absolutely clean house. But yeah, it's just not really a lot. I don't have a lot of units here that generated a lot of value, and this is what really matters in the end. And of course, as I said, it's so much easier for Task Force Butler in this game to generate value, to get good trades, because of all, you have so many tools, especially the AT tools, really, from 91st Luftland that are really expensive. But even the Fallschirmjäger add up. You have so many expensive tools that you really need to make sure you can protect. Otherwise, you lose so much value, and you kind of rely on this. You don't even get to choose, right? When we look at the AT gun, you don't get to choose what your options are to protect yourself against tanks. So you are forced to take these bad trades, which is really, really bad, and it adds up, and we do see that. Yeah, I think to a certain degree, Wazneeplus didn't play it ideally, but it was definitely a rough matchup too. I expected it to be harder for Butler, really, to be honest, because of the 2k difference. But of course, any soft targets are really easily counterable with artillery, and this is what we saw here. But yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the game, and see you all in the next one.